Buddy Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans. I get today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Sakamoto Days chapter 193. Now, before I get into this recap and live reaction, we're at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel. And in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. And we ain't sponsored by Shueisha, and we ain't sponsored by Manga Plus, and we ain't sponsored by Viz. And considering how much we promote Manga Plus on this channel, it's kind of surprising, right? But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable little Bubba Kitty, who's somewhere around here, and this operation literally alive and kicking, so we can keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon, where we are doing our anime live reaction content, because unlike YouTube, where we constantly, hi kitty, have to worry about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, well, Patreon, we don't have to worry about that. So we can have our full setup of the anime and manga side by side and have the audio to boot. Which is great for when we bust a botched localization or two, as well as covering anime original content like, say, Dragon Ball Daima, or the anime original content in Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, which we do have the 1st and 5th episodes available for free on Patreon. And the more views and subscribers we get on Patreon, the more anime we'll cover. And hell, if you're a $10 patron, you get to choose the series we cover as well. And there's a stacked fall anime season in full swing and more on the way, including Sakamoto Days, which starts in January. Feel free to check out our Patreon. The link is in the description box below. So last chapter, we started the Shin and Tenkyu fight, and it is getting very, very intense. But at the end of the chapter, Tora showed up, and he was trying to get, accurate, choices for the races, of course. I mean, fucking Taurus, man. Anyways, let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us today. And this chapter is titled Tenkyu versus Shin. To protect Sakamoto and the others, Shin directs his killer instinct towards Tenkyu. All right, let's see. This art looks fabulous. I guess this power can only be used once per person. It won't work on Tenkyu again. Now, this is a good question here. Is that if Shin's power developed further, would Shin be saying this? I don't think so. I think if Shin developed his power further, I think he would be able to override a person's thoughts multiple times. However, in the case of Tenkyu, though, because of how his brain was written and / programmed, I think he would only be, even if his power was developed further and mastered, I think he would only be able to overwrite his thoughts once. Because remember, you got to understand what you're dealing with Tenkyu is he was programmed by an organization to be a emotionless killing machine. So yeah, this is kind of a special case here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Ooh, that was a nice dodge and a nice punch too. So what? I just have to use my other weapons. Yeah, go Shin. Ooh, and I love this. I love the reverse negative contrast here for when Shin, is predicting the future. Like, this is what I wanted to see from Hokuzono in Kagurabachi for Samura when he was fighting. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Something simple like that, and it would have been effective, and it would have worked for me. Ooh! Now break his neck. Uh-oh. Huh? He dodges my arrows, but he couldn't dodge that rubble? Don't tell me. Uh-oh. Damn, Tenkyu is going in. I think I get it. You're bad when it comes to highly random attacks, Shin. Yeah, and the thing is, again, with Tenkyu, as I said, Tenkyu is a emotionless killing machine. He can shove off his brain if he needs to. And I said this in, I've said this in my Kingdom live reaction. Spoiling Kingdom, so you have to deal with it. You should be reading Kingdom anyways. The thing is with someone like Raboku, Raboku is by the book. And the thing is, to defeat Raboku is you gotta be random. You gotta use unorthodox shit to beat someone like Raboku. And that's why Kanki was doing so well to an extent and would have beaten Raboku. He would have. Raboku was being a little bitch too. God, I miss Kanki. Like, Kanki, I went from hating to loving Kanki. It's weird how that happens, right? But that's also good character writing. But yeah, I can see what Tenkyu's talking about. I can understand it. I can't dodge with this leg. I can't overwrite Tenkyu's thoughts again. God, what now? Move. Move! Oh, he overrode his own thoughts. Okay. He left with that leg? Impossible. If I think I can't move, I could overwrite my own thoughts. But that power will only work one time. It's used up now. Now this raises the question about Shin. If his power was developed enough and he mastered it, would Shin be able to overwrite his thoughts more than once? This would be OP as fuck if he was able to do it. It would be hard to do it. But I think Shin would be able to do it more than once. It would take a toll on him mentally. But I think he'd be able to do it at least like a few times. But that would require a lot of training, a lot of mental training. And obviously physical, too, because he'd have to make sure his physical stamina is up to par. But I think he could do it more than once. Because he's training his own mind. This isn't like Tenkyu, where he's got, like, a mental fortress. But, anyways. Yeesh! First you dodged my arrows and failed to dodge debris. Then you look injured, but go leaping way up in the air. Shin, you're a mystery. I can't pick up his thoughts. He must be over 400 meters away. Again, if his power was developed enough or he wasn't maybe mentally exhausted, Shin probably could pick up his thoughts from a longer distance. See? From that distance, your arrows won't reach me, Tenkyu. Oh, that's what you think. He got a sniper eye. I haven't used this in a while. Yikes, with my left eye open, I can see so well, it almost makes me woozy. Woo! Oh, he twisted the bow on the string on his bow around the arrow multiple times to increase the distance. Damn! Damn! And it's not just the distance either. It's like it's the velocity too. Yo, that is sick. It's the velocity and the force. Dude, hello physics. He wrapped the bowstring around his arrow to make it fly farther and faster. And by, AKA it's the velocity and the distance. And when you increase the velocity and the distance like that, it like makes the force, AKA, the point of impact, even more powerful. Between your ESP and my arrows, looks like my range is better than yours. Shin versus Tenkyu, a battle beyond limits. Dude, that is sick. But now, knowing that Tenkyu has this eye, this raises another question here. And I gotta bring Fairy Tail into this, because Urza has a fake eye, right? And because of her eye, this anti-magic eye, so to speak, it has the effectiveness of magic. And I have to wonder if Tenkyu's eye would come into effect as well. It's not just I could make the argument that because of the eye, there's, the wiring of the brain in that aspect too. But because of the eye, would it have the effect, would it be a factor in having the effect of Shin's, of the effectiveness of Shin's power? I really do think so. Because based on how powerful that eye is, yeah, I think that would probably play an effect to the effectiveness of Shin's power. That probably has a lot to do with it, right? So like even if Shin developed his power and mastered it, right? I still don't think he would have the strength, mental strength, to break through Tenkyu's mind to an extent. And that's because of that eye. That eye would probably more than half, like cut that effectiveness in half. Ooh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah, that would. Out of curiosity, I did look to see if where sight is connected into the sight and the thought process. Thought process is connected to the same part of the brain. And this is what it says here. It says sight is primarily processed in the occipital lobe, which is at the back of the brain, which is a separate area from the parts of the brain primarily responsible for complex thought processes, which are generally located in the frontal lobe, meaning sight and thought processes are not connected to the same part of the brain, although they do integrate information with others, with each other across different and across different brain regions. Okay, that makes sense, but I have to wonder because of the emotion, because of I have to wonder if because he is an emotionless machine, right? Tenkyu is. I wonder if the emotional part of the brain, the part of the brain that processes emotions, was dulled down. If there was a part of the brain that was dulled down to compensate for the increase in sight, I have to wonder if that's the case too. So I double checked this, and I think this is the case. Because emotion processing, they're not like primarily processed in the same area, but they are connected. Because emotion processing is largely centered around the amygdala, meaning that they are not located in the same area, but they are interconnected. As visual information can significantly influence our emotional responses and vice versa. Essentially, what we see can trigger emotions, and our emotional state can affect how we perceive visual information. So I have to wonder if. So basically, I have to wonder. Remember what I said before I looked this up. I have to wonder if, in order to compensate for the increase of eyesight, for the sniper eye, so to speak, they dulled down the emotional processing in Tenkyu's amygdala. Oh, that would make so much sense. Oh my God, that would make sense. Because remember what I said, this all has to do with how Tenkyu's brain is wired. Because remember, Shin was able to at least overwrite Tenkyu's thoughts once. And we have the eye in play here. So, and we have the heightened sense of sight for one eye. And Izuki said that he has no emotions. He's an emotionless killing machine. This would make the most sense. That the organization found a way to dull his amygdala, the emotional part of your brain, to heighten his eyesight. Oh my God, that would make so much sense. Oh my God, I'm being such a fucking dork right now, but like I'm just trying to think, how would this happen? How would you get this from a scientific my mom works at she worked in neuro ICU at UCSF, so like this is I'm probably getting this from her too. But in terms of like curiosity and shit about the brain. But yeah, that to me would make the most sense, because when you have something like that, when like a part of your brain or like part of your senses are dulled down, like say hearing, for example, another part of your senses, like sight, will compensate it, right? So in this case, motions are dulled down, and then to compensate for the dulled down emotions, you get like a heightened sense of sight. I see what you did here with this. This is actually, that's pretty smart. I might be thinking too deep into this, but I think that would make the most sense. It's going to one eye though, because I think because Tenkyu said that it made him too woozy. So yeah. So now again, you gotta wonder, because now that we have this this is coming into play, you have to wonder now, would they be able, is it now possible, since it's basically, it really seems like it's at the neurological level. Would Tenkyu would probably have to get rid of that eye, right? He might have to get rid of that eye he's definitely going to need brain surgery at this point, right? This is a really good question now. Now you have to wonder, because this really does seem like it's at the neurological level. Can Tenkyu really be saved at this point? I don't know. I honestly don't know if Tenkyu can really be saved if the rewiring was done to this extent. That's a really good fucking question. Even if they remove the eye, that caused all this, and they put in a normal eye, right? Do you think that that they would be able to? Do you think? I don't know. I really don't know if this is even possible to save Tenkyu at this rate. If Tenkyu will ever, I don't know if it's possible for Tenkyu to ever have emotions. I don't know. I really don't know. If this is the case, I really don't think Tenkyu will ever have emotions. Because it's that bad. Like, it'd be one thing if it was just like psychological shit, right? It'd be one thing. But when it's like neurological to this point where like they rewired the brain to heighten his senses, I really don't think it's possible. I don't think so. This will be very interesting to see if this will happen or not. I know it's fiction, so there's a chance it could. And I mean, we've seen insane shit happen, like in the Kengan series, where like miracles happen. So I'm like, I can't see this possibly happening, especially if they do take that eye out. And that's a risky thing to do. But again, we've seen really insane shit happening in the Kengan series, so I'm like, this could happen and it could work. But I really don't know. I have to wonder if Tenkyu is going to die at the end of this, because there might not be a way to save him. I'm very curious what you guys think. Do you guys think, based on what we're seeing here, that Tenkyu can even be saved? And also, in regards to Shin, do you think that with Shin, if he developed, as I've been saying throughout all this, you know what? I'm going to say this. The only thing I could think of in terms of Tenkyu being saved, I think if Shin can get down there with his power, and Shin can maybe rewire his brain, or if you find like an Esper that can get down there, because remember, he can change people's thoughts, but you have to have an Esper that could really go down there and rewire him to do it. But that's the only way I could think Tenkyu can be saved. Even with the eye, like if they remove the eye and you could get an Esper to go down there and like rewire his brain, I think he can be saved. With the eye, that's going to be even harder. Like the more I think about it, I know I'm thinking way too deep into this, but this is my ADHD brain, so you got to deal with it. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you guys think about Tenkyu's eye and how this comes into play in regards to him being an emotionless killing machine. I think it makes even more sense now, in all honesty. And do you think that Tenkyu can be saved? Do you think that, and also, what do you think about Shin's powers, and his, and how, if his powers develop enough that he would not only be able to overwrite like other people's thoughts multiple times, that he can overwrite his thoughts. I think that's awesome. I hope Suzuki does explore that more as well. But and as I said, do you think Shin developing his powers enough could save Tenkyu as well? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Sakamoto content. A few ways you could do that: donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wish list. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. And until next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.